Ladies and gentlemen, it is a big, weird, wild world out there, folks, and here we stand, al pie del cañón, ready for anything. I'm Rob, that's the Natch, and you're listening to
The ProBoh Show!
Welcome, boys and girls. Firstly, a big good morning to all the people joining me live in the chat. Today, that's Nessa Vanessa Min joining us from the Netherlands. Eugene joining us from Russia. Born to Iron Man, Pedro joining us from Spain. Eric joining us from the Philippines. Good morning to all. Apologies for being talkative yesterday. That's why we're here, man. You've got to talk. We love you, Eric. We love you. It's 2:30 p.m. in the Philippines. It's currently 8:30 a.m. Central European Time. 2:30 in the morning for our friends in New York. How are you doing out there? Pedro, here we stand. Damn right. On the front lines, al pie del cañón. The Bridge is here. How are you doing, The Bridge? Joining us from the north of Spain. Happy Independence Day, says Eugene, for our American friends. Yes. All right. So, what's coming up in today's show? The ProBoh Show elves have been hard at work. Today, I asked 100 humans to name a place you hope people don't answer their mobile phone. Name a place you hope people don't answer their mobile phone or their cell phone for our American friends. Then in today's Complete the News, we look at why VPN searches spiked, why they had an unusual increase in searches, VPN in Virginia. And we'll also maybe take a look at Meta's new AI bot. All that fun, friends. In the second half of the show. In the first half, we have an unpopular opinion that was gifted to us from our friend Pedro from Instagram. Or at least the theme was gifted to us by Pedro from Instagram. But we'll get to that in a second. Again, another quite unpopular opinion, man. I don't know. I'm failing at being inciting you all. And being unpopular. What can I do? Sometimes we share the same opinion, folks. So I'm here, you're here. Let's not waste any time. Let's see what's going on in the world. Guys, first of all, a little bit of info. For those of you in Madrid or in Spain and you fancy taking a trip to Madrid, which I know is the vast majority of the people joining me live right now, we have the quiz night on Wednesday. Wednesday evening's quiz night. I'll be there. I'm not the host. The host is very special this week. It is Mr. Guy Williams. Are you going, Natch?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Too late.
Well, I'll be there. I think Andrea will be there. I'm sure Kyle will be there. Fitz from No Excuses will be there. So, guys, if you have time on Wednesday evening, 8:30, Calle Amaniel, number 23, Real Madrid, do come and celebrate with Guy Williams. It will be his last quiz night. Guy's retiring, man. Guy's retiring. So I'm going to go there and show my support for one of the legends of the radio, Mr. Guy Williams. Another hot topic for me, says Eric. Yeah. The unpopular opinion is a good one today. Okay, so let's get into the news. Google recently, I don't know if anyone saw this, Google updated its privacy policy. Basically, Google said they'll scrape everything you post online for AI. Weird, a weird thing for Google to do, given that OpenAI are currently in trouble now. They're in the middle of a lawsuit for using people's information without their consent, or using people's online content without their consent or without their express consent. I don't know how you say scrape in this fashion in Spanish. Would you say rastrear?
I don't know.
Well, to scrape, right, is when you have a program of some sort, visit a website and use all the information and basically scrape. Imagine you were scraping something off of a window. Okay, you rastrear, I think he's saying Spanish, I'm not sure. But scraping, yeah. So they're using their Google search bot, the little engines, the little crawlers, to scrape, to absorb all that information. And they'll be using it for AI. How do you feel about that, friends? Crazy stuff. You mean Wednesday tomorrow? I do, Pedro. It's Wednesday as in tomorrow. God, you just reminded me that I'm only on Tuesday, and I got that little bout of depression there. Thanks. In my mind, I can't try and keep it Friday every day. Anyway, let's see. Buenos dias, gente guapa. Good morning, beautiful people. Bonjour, mes amis. How are you doing, Vero? Welcome. To scrape means to get rid of something. No, to scrape in this instance means to absorb. I think would be a way you might understand that technical phrase. Like if you were to scrape Twitter, it would mean you would take all the information from Twitter and store it somewhere else. To scrape. I know it's some quite technical vocabulary. So Google will scrape everything you post online and use it for AI. This piece of news, where did it come from? Gizmodo, great online publication, by the way, if you're into technology and technological news. So here we go. Google has updated its privacy policy, explicitly stating its right to use any public online content to enhance its artificial intelligence tools. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about Google scraping your information to train AI large language models? Another day at the feet of the canyon, says Vero. Al pie del cañón. We would translate that directly as on the front line. The front line in the war, the people on the front line are the most likely to be killed. The good news is we are warriors, so it doesn't matter. You can say rascar in Spanish too. Thank you, Bridge, because it doesn't only mean scratch. That's Spanish using fuel words for you. Awesome. I appreciate that, Bridge. How are you doing this morning? Bridge, you've sent me a ton of messages. I haven't gotten to reading them. I've been super busy these days. But I will read them one day, I promise. You asked me something about a camp. So yeah, how do you feel about that? Before you make a snap judgment about this change, understand their prior privacy policy said they would do the same thing, but for Google Translate and cloud AI and things like that. I mean, Google has been using your information for years. But it's interesting. It's interesting, given that now OpenAI are coming under fire for doing more or less the same thing. Okay. Next, Google's quantum computer. Did you know this? That they had a quantum computer, Google? Instantly makes calculations that older supercomputers, would have taken 47 years. Now, we're not talking about your desktop at home that is really fast. I spent 3,000 euros on a gaming computer. No. We're talking about supercomputers. Well, this quantum computer is making calculations 47 years faster than the fastest computers we had a couple of years ago. Talk about Moore's Law. If you don't know what Moore's Law is, Moore, check that out yourself. Google has developed a new quantum computer capable. This is from The Telegraph, by the way, a British publication. Google has developed a new quantum computer capable of making calculations instantly that would take the world's best supercomputers 47 years. Supercomputer. The quantum device, described in a paper, boasts 70 qubits, making 241 million times more powerful than Google's 2019 model. We're talking about the best computer that there was. The best computer that there was 4 years ago. This thing is 241 million times more powerful. Yeah, and this kind of news is starting to fill me with an existential dread. I start to worry about my future as a fleshy human being. If any of my computer overlords are listening, hey, guys, ProBoh Show, we love you here. Supercomputers, we never heard of this, especially for people in the baby boomers era, says Eric. Yeah, absolutely. I thought they already did that for some reason. Yeah, exactly, Nessa. Google used to use all our information anyway. This is no big change. Well, at least they added it to their privacy policy. I think that Google News comes on the heels. It comes because of the lawsuit that OpenAI are now facing. Just them, the lawyers covering their back, making sure they're not in any legal issues down the road, I think. Good morning, Rossi. Was Rossi in the background? She disappeared, says Pedro. Yeah, she's like Natch. She's omnipresent. She just, in a flash, goes where she's needed. Even my dad never heard of this one, says Eric. Yeah, so a supercomputer. Supercomputers kind of have always been a thing, right? Supercomputer is the vernacular to describe a computer that is a lot faster than a generic home PC or a home computer. We've described them as supercomputers. We remember these images, from years and years ago, of seeing rooms full of processors and processing power. Well, yeah, same thing happens, only it's much, much, much more advanced. Deep Blue Google, says Nessa. Yeah, Deep Blue, wasn't that the chess robot? The robot that beat Gary Kasparov? Natch is nodding. I think he just searched in his annals of history. He was there. He was there when Deep Blue beat Gary Kasparov. Okay, and the final piece of news today. Who was it who mentioned it earlier? Someone said, who was it who said Happy Independence Day? It was the wonderful Eugene. Yeah, Happy Independence Day, America. Happy Independence Day, Natch. We don't care. We don't care. Happy Independence Day. Congratulations for gaining your independence from us. When I say from us, I don't mean you guys in the chat. I mean me and Natch. No, I mean from Britain. I mean from us as in me and my compatriots. Yeah, don't you find that a little bit weird? Natch, do you find Independence Day a little weird? I guess not as a non-British citizen, I guess. Because as a British citizen, it's a little bit kind of, it's like, why isn't it an English celebration? Happy good riddance to dead weight. You know what I mean? When someone says to me, oh, it's Independence Day, Happy Independence Day, I'm thinking, cheers. You do realize it was my country you gained independence from, right? I'm going to start celebrating Independence Day as a British person. Happy Dead Weight Day. Happy Dead Weight Day, Natch. How are you feeling? It's a good day. It's a day we all celebrate. Well, some interesting information here. Over 40% of Americans don't know why they celebrate July 4th. There's got to be something wrong with that, hasn't there? I found this. It's from penlive.com. I found this article, and it makes me question a little bit the nature of this poll. Over 40% of Americans don't know why they celebrate July 4th. A new OnePoll survey found surprising gaps in Americans' understanding of their own country's history and civics. Despite 99% of the respondents identifying as either born or naturalized citizens, the survey revealed that only 59% correctly stated that the 4th of July celebrates the signing of the Declaration of Independence. What the hell did the rest of them think, is my question. Did they think it's the day we beat aliens, like the movie? Oh, it's the day Will Smith punched an alien. Happy Independence Day. Jeez Louise, America. Come on. I kid. I love you guys. Okay, so 45% correctly believed the event took place in... incorrectly believed the event took place in 1777, not 1776. Moreover, 40% didn't know that the right to bear arms is part of the Second Amendment, and 11% were unaware that the right to free speech is protected under the First Amendment. Yeah. I mean, look, to be honest, do you know a lot about the Spanish Constitution?
No.
Do you know a lot about Spanish history?
No.
Yeah, same with British history, same with the British Constitution. I don't know. You know, we tend to pick on Americans for these things, but I think they're kind of universal. You know, sadly, I know there are a lot of people, a lot of history buffs, people who love history, that kind of get immediately shocked when this kind of thing comes out. Americans, don't feel any shame, man. We're the same with our own countries. There is a small margin of every country that knows the people whose people know every detail to its minutiae, these historians, but they're definitely the minority in my mind. Or at least that's the way I rationalize it, so I don't feel bad about my lack of knowledge. Let's see what people are saying. I remember that when I searched my name and surnames, a convent of nuns used to appear in the first place. Really, Vero had her identity stolen by nuns, Natch. It happens. These nuns going out there, stealing people's credit cards. Eric, yes, Philippines as well. But we are not included in the 59%, says Eric. Pedro, another fun fact about the American independence is that it was heavily supported by Spain, and many scholars defend that it would have failed without such support. I actually did know that Spain and France were instrumental in helping the US in its infancy gain its independence. I mean, in many ways, it was quite a European. It was Europe showing its support for this newfound colony. It wasn't really a colony at that time. There were. It had expanded across the whole continent by that time. But yeah. It's true. So congratulations, Spain, for helping England get rid of America. And helping England get rid of me, I'm a European man. I'm going to stop referring to myself as British. Ignorance is universal, Rob, says the bridge. Yeah, it really is. It really is. Actually saying all this, it makes me want to better investigate European history. Because I don't consider myself British, it's true. I consider myself European, even though I was raised in England. Like I was raised by a Polish and Italian people. So I was raised in a very Italian way, or a very Mediterranean way, to say it, to a certain extent. You know what I mean? I'm English by birth, Italian by blood, or Italian and Polish by blood, Spanish by choice. I'm a weird mongrel of a human being. Let's see. If you ask anyone over here about that kind of questions, they won't know either. Exactly, Nessa. Which is why these kind of articles, like 40% of Americans don't know blah blah. It's like, come on. And you think Europeans are any better? Come on. I totally agree. Remember Bernardo de Galvez? So is Galveston, isn't it? Oh, really? So Galveston comes from a Spanish general, I imagine. Interesting. All right, you know what we're going to do, guys? This is a hot topic, I think, mostly for our international listeners as well as our Spanish listeners. For those of us native English speakers, maybe not as prescient, but this one is dedicated to you. Let's go to today's unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion.
Oh my God, friends. Oh my God. We've got a controversial, unpopular opinion, friends. Especially knowing Spanish people, I know this will touch a nerve. And today's unpopular opinion, today's brain fart, today's pedo cerebral, today's pedo mental, today's rayada is we need to stop dubbing movies. To dubbing, doblaje, I think you say in Spanish, right? Doblaje. We need to stop dubbing movies. We need to stop. I did ask people on Instagram, what do you think they said, Natch? True or false?
True.
They did say true. And I'm not going to bother asking you by how much because it's right, more or less in the middle of both. 72% said true. Strangely, most of the no's came from our Spanish. Most of the falses came from our Spanish friends, and I think there are a couple of reasons for that. But we'll go into that as we continue. Who requested that topic? It was the one and only Mr. Pedro from Instagram, our legal correspondent. Born to Iron Man says Galvez is best remembered for his role in denying the British the ability to encircle the American rebels from the south by pressing British forces in West Florida and for keeping a vital flow of supplies to Patriot troops across the colonies. Dude, Born to Iron Man is on fire today. Can we get him a ProBoh approved, please, now?
ProBoh approved.
You're on fire today. In fact, let's get another one, Natch, but for everyone.
ProBoh approved.
How can you be killing it so badly today, guys? You are doing such a good job. Lo estás petando. No lo estás matando. That's a bad thing I've recently learned. Pero lo estás petando. You're killing it, guys. You're doing such a good job today. Rob, you're even more of a mongrel than I am. That's good. Yeah, I think so. I think being a bit of a mix is a good thing. I didn't know you made this request, Pedro. Yeah. It's quite it's quite a difficult subject to broach with Spaniards because for some reason Spain has amazing quality dubbing. They do dubbing better than most countries in the world. But here's my argument, right? Spain also did better inquisitions than anywhere else in the world. You know, they don't still do inquisitions. You know what I mean? Just because you're good at something doesn't mean you need to keep doing it. You know. Anyway, let's get through. Let's go through the pros and cons. The poor enslaved elves were whipped within an inch of their lives to provide us with these pros and cons. So let's go. In the pro column, agreeing that we need to stop dubbing movies. Okay, dubbing can often lose the original performance's nuance. Matiz. Nuance. Oh, dude, Natch, come on. Matiz, dude? Matiz?
¿Será posible? Vaya nivelazo.
Are you kidding me? And you're not to translate nuance? Jeez Louise. 20 years in Spain, folks. Here we go. Including vocal inflection, emotion, and timing. Ceasing dubbing ensures audiences experience the film as the director intended. Watching movies in their original language can aid in language learning and understanding different accents and dialects, enriching the viewer's language skills. Dubbing is a costly process that involves hiring voice actors, re-recording dialogues, and syncing them with the visuals. Stopping it can significantly reduce production costs. And finally, original versions of movies provide viewers with authentic cultural exposure, helping to promote understanding and respect for different cultures. That's a great argument. Well done, elves. Well done. Let's see what people, while we've gotten through the pro column, let's see if anyone's saying anything. Spain is the only country which dubs movies, says Vero. Vero, I'm not sure that's true. I mean, there are tons of movies dubbed into English. I'm thinking mainly here about anime. And I love anime movies, or at least I love there are a few anime movies that I like a great deal. But I don't watch them dubbed, even though it's offered. I always watch them with subtitles. Let's see. Dubbing is all right if done well, says Min. But generally the disconnect between the mouth moving and what is said is insane. True story. Eric, most of the anime in the Philippines uses Filipino language as their own dubbed version. Min, Germany dubs everything, Vero. Yeah, Spanish people tend to think this is a very Spanish phenomenon because historically, when Spain was under a dictatorship, it was mandated that everything had to be dubbed. But it's not just a purely Spanish phenomenon. Pedro says, look at it. Look, I don't even get a cultural nivelazo from the Natch.
Wow,
come on.
Nivelazo.
Come on, guys. I will thank you guys in chat for your support. And the Natch. Come on, I know. All right, let's continue. Is it? Says Pedro. I think Italy and France do too. Not sure. I think they do as well, Pedro. Or at least they have a choice, let's say. In Russia also, almost all foreign movies are dubbed, says Eugene. As the elf said, a lot of the acting is about voice, intonation and accent. That is lost by dubbing. True story. Oh my god, guys, we don't have time to go through the cons. Sorry. Oh, my bad. My bad, but I think you, given the results of the vote, you all know the cons. I'm going to post the poll in the chat regardless, and you're going to tell me, should we stop dubbing movies? Is dubbing past its time? Should we be worried more about our education, about the performances that are lost through to dubbing? Or should we be thinking more about people, access for non-native speakers, people who can't read as quickly as others? Should we be thinking about those people more? Well, you're going to tell me in the vote. Guys, so many things that you could have been doing this morning, but instead of doing those things, you took the time to spend some time with me, and it means the world. See you soon. Hey guys, if you'd like to support the show, you can do so on Patreon. That's patreon.com/professional bohemian. There you'll find VODs of the episodes as they are recorded live, blogs, vlogs, and behind-the-scenes content. If you'd like to watch the show live, you can do so on twitch.tv/professional bohemian, and you can participate in the polls we use in the show on Instagram @professional bohemian or Twitter @ProBoh, ProBoh. Okay, on with the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. If you're joining us live, it's currently 9 a.m. Central European Time. How are you doing out there? I think it's 3 p.m. in the Philippines for our friend Eric, and it's 3 a.m. for our friends in New York City, or in that time zone, Eastern Standard Time, I think they call it. How are you doing out there? Well, if you just tuned in, we were speaking briefly about Independence Day and how we Europeans unfairly judge Americans' knowledge of their own country, when I think we're all just a little bit the same. Come on. We also spoke about Google's quantum computer making calculations 47 years faster than previous models, than other supercomputers. Incredible stuff. And how Google has updated its privacy policy to highlight that it will be using basically everything you post online to train its new language models. And then we move straight into today's unpopular opinion, which was, we need to stop dubbing movies. Natch, what are your thoughts on this one? What do you think?
I agree. Yes.
Yeah, you think we should stop dubbing them?
Yes.
What about... Okay, here's an interesting question. You have kids. A lot of foreign cartoons that you guys watch, like Masha and the Bear is Russian, for example. A lot of cartoons that parents will have their children watch are dubbed into another language. How do you feel about that? If you immediately lost, access to kids' TV shows, cartoons, things like that. You know what I mean? It's a little bit more of a complex question than on the surface it appears. Because I agree with you, Natch. I agree. I think it would be to a net benefit to stop dubbing. However, there are sections of society where that is really useful. The blind, for example. Kids. You've got to think about accessibility. So yeah, a more complex issue than we actually give it credit for. Okay, the results of the poll are in. I will make a note and reveal that to our radio and angelic podcast listeners soon. All right, here we go. Okay, so let's get into some more. Let's look at some cons. Okay, that the elves wrote for us. Some cons in the con column. Accessibility for non-native speakers of those with hearing impairments. Dubbed movies provide a more accessible way to enjoy films. Dubbing movies into local languages increases their potential market reach, making them more commercially successful globally. Young children who can't read yet heavily rely on dubbed content, making it a vital tool for children's entertainment. And finally, the elves said, not all viewers prefer reading subtitles while watching a movie. For many, dubbed versions offer a more comfortable and convenient experience, which is something Oruperti said on Instagram. He said, I hate reading subtitles. By the time I've read all the sentence, I've lost the image. All right, let's see. It's a complex issue. I'll get to my own belief around this issue soon, but not right now. Right now, I want to see what you guys have said in the chat. So here we go. Where were we? As the elf said, the acting is about voice, intonation, and accent, and that is lost in dubbing, which is a very fair point. Let's get Pedro a ProBoh approved, please.
ProBoh approved.
Because it's true. As someone who's done acting and performed comedy and acting on a stage, so much of your performance, I mean, a little bit is your physicality and your physicality, the way you use your face and your limbs or hands and feet to highlight a performance. But the vast majority of your performance, especially when I've done quite a lot of radio drama as well, and so much of that is about your voice. So you're losing really the actor's performance. I would say you're losing easily 50% of the actor's performance. Easily. Let's continue. Take Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, for example. All of it are mainly based on English, says Eric. Main anime needs to be subbed. Voice acting in Japan is much bigger and much more respected job. You can't get that quality with dubbed. True story. I remember I watched all of Bleach. Bleach is an anime series. I watched the whole thing with subtitles. All of it. I watched Ghost in the Shell subtitled. I think the first time I saw Akira was dubbed, and then I rewatched it with the subtitles, and it was way better. Let's see. Pedro, also, generalized dubbing is one of the reasons why Spain is far behind countries that don't dub in terms of English proficiency. Yeah, I mean, look at Portugal. Portuguese people have a much higher level on average than Spanish people. Don't get angry, Spain. It's a fact. And a lot of people attribute that to the fact that movies are subtitled over there rather than dubbed. Let's see. Eric says, it depends on the television companies outside Japan. They use their own dubbed version in their own specific country. Pedro says, I have to say, I don't think Spanish dubbing is that great. People will hate me for that. It often sounds artificial and too perfect. People don't sound like what they sound when they speak in the real world. Oh, Pedro, you are speaking directly to my soul right now, man. One of my first experiences in Spain, I loved the TV show House MD. For those of you who've been listening to me for a while, my favorite fictional character is Sherlock Holmes. In fact, the prototype superhero, right? He had an ability outside the normal to be able to detect and understand his intelligence. He was a superhero, and he was my favorite fictional character, still is. And House MD based on Sherlock Holmes. House, Holmes, Watson, Wilson. Okay. So I loved House, the TV show. Do you remember House, Natch? Yeah, right. When I first saw it in Spain, my heart broke. Because in the English version, Hugh Laurie, the actor, he's doing an American accent. He's actually British. And he's doing a very nasal performance as House MD. And it adds to the character. It adds to the way he talks, that annoying element of him. In Spain, the guy spoke like his voice broke at 3 years old. Hola, soy House MD. Soy Dr. House. And he just kind of ruins the character. It's hard to take him seriously. I mean, I parrot the phrase, Spain has the best dubbing in the world, actually, but in my heart and soul, I don't believe that. I do that so I don't get lynched when I leave the studio. What do you think, Natch? Best dubbing in the world, Spain?
I don't know the rest, to be sincere.
Ah, okay.
For me, it's okay.
To be fair, I've heard things dubbed in English, I've heard things dubbed in Spanish, and I've heard things dubbed in Italian. And I don't like any of them. I think Italian is maybe the worst. You know, I think Italian is maybe the worst. Anyway, let's continue. Let's see. Min says, I'd hate if everything I watched was in Dutch. I like that a lot of I like that a lot is in English and series from Sweden or something are in Swedish. Makes it more authentic and just feels right. We only dub kids series here, and we stop dubbing once the target audience is roughly above 12 years old. Wow. That's a great solution for me, Natch. That's a great solution for me. That you dub everything for kids, but then post 12, 13, everything is in original version with subtitles. That's great. Nessa, as I said on Insta, for elderly people, it would be harder. And I think they deserve to have something easy for once and be able to enjoy a relaxing moment watching a wonderfully dubbed movie or being included for once. Let's get Nessa a ProBoh approved, please.
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
See, it's a way more complex issue than on the surface it appears. Also, dubbing has a cost, so why do I have to pay the same price if I choose original version? Wow, great point. Yeah, great point. You pay extra for the actors, but the translation is still a cost, right? To put subtitles. I don't know. It's a complex issue. As much as I prefer subbed, I think it's an overstatement to say stop dubbing. It's fine for kids' programs and for programs geared towards the elderly. Pedro forgot to vote. No worries, Pedro. The bridge. Surely you meant sight impaired, Rob. Yeah, that is what I meant. Sorry. What did I say? I thought I said blind. Did I say deaf? My bad. My bad, Bridge. One has the option to watch it in original version or add subtitles if you want to. Why not make things easier for those who might not be able to read as far as subtitles go? My 90-year-old dad, for example. All right. Yeah, true story. Okay, so let's see. Let's go for the results of the vote. So I said the unpopular opinion today was let's stop dubbing movies. Let's get a little drum roll. 57% of you said true. I'm going to be honest. Here, I probably agree exactly. My feelings are exactly the way people have voted today. I'm kind of like 50-50, but swayed more towards the side of, if we've got to do one or the other, I prefer not dubbed content. So I think in my heart, I'm kind of 50-50 too. I watch a lot of Spanish movies. I don't really watch them with subtitles now because I don't need to. I can understand it. But when I couldn't, I would watch with subtitles. Because I'm a big fan of movies, the movie industry, of acting and actors. And I want to see their performance. It's important for me to get 100% of what that actor is saying. I mean, imagine how terrible Celda 211 would be. Hearing Luis Tosar speak in some kind of weird British accent. I mean, the power of that performance is carried in this gruff voice of his. But then, we have children, the elderly, as Nessa said, people who are visually impaired, where that is not a solution, where dubbing is important. I really love what Min said, what they do in the Netherlands, which is everything is dubbed. Everything is dubbed for kids up to the age of 12. Great. So kids can be educated and entertained. But then post-12, it has to be a decision. You have to actively seek out dubbed content because everything that you're exposed to is with subtitles. But obviously with options for the people with sight difficulties and people, and elderly people who may struggle to read the content. So yeah, I'm gonna agree exactly with our audience today. I guess we've come to a consensus. 50-50, why not? Why not? I think it comes to a time where I think it's a personal decision, a very personal decision. For me, I choose not to consume dubbed content. But I don't believe that we should get rid of the option, right? Even though it may be better for us in the long run. I don't know. I do believe it is, but I'm one of these people who like to push themselves, who like to understand. Not everyone's like that. They want to turn off and just enjoy content on its surface, on its surface, and I can appreciate that too. Let's see. Eric says, anime like Spy X Family, popular games like Genshin Impact. I do want to read and understand it in English dubbed. Same story, but uses different language lines. The point for my factual opinion is people have the problem in speaking English, wanted to learn the language. Teenagers can now speak English properly if they experience it in different experiences. True fact. Yeah, I learned a lot of Spanish playing, God, what's it called? The Witcher. Witcher 2 in Spanish. I actually learned tons of weird esoteric vocabulary. Playing video games in Spanish. Yeah. I think the conclusion is dubbing should be the exception, not the rule. Pedro, I completely agree. And on that note, let's go. He gets the last word today. It was his topic. On that note, let's go to 100 Humans. Oh my God, friends, it was a long walk to work today, across snow-capped mountains and through river valleys, and on that walk I encountered 100 humans, and I asked them a question. Today's question was, name a place, nombra un sitio, a place, where you wish people wouldn't answer their mobile phones, or cell phones, móviles in Spanish. In Spanish, oh my God. Dude, I'm making English errors in Spanish. When I'm speaking English. In Spanish, not Spanish. Okay, here we go. So name a place where you wish people wouldn't answer their phones if they rang. Okay, so here we go. I asked them that question. They gave me their answers. I have the top 7 answers right here. As always, we go to the one and only Oracle for the first one. What do you think?
A hospital?
Ooh, a hospital. Good answer. It's a great answer. Pedro also said hospital. But is it there? Hospital. Surprisingly, no, it's not. Sorry, guys. It's not there. It's a good answer, though. I mean, I think it depends on the ward, right? You know? If it's like, I don't know. It depends on the ward. I don't know. I don't think I'd feel as bad about answering a phone call in a hospital as some of these other places. Let's continue. So Eugene says the theatre. The theatre. The theatre. I mean, movie theatre. Movies, you know, that kind of thing. Is a movie theatre there? Yes, it is, Eugene. Well done, sir. It's the number 1 answer. Wow, Eugene. Or the cinema, theatre, cinema, that kind of thing. Well done, Eugene. Knocking Eric off his top spot. So here we go. Eugene, number 1 answer. 27 of 100 humans said that. Okay, let's see. A restaurant, says Min. A restaurant. Is a restaurant there? Yes, it is. Well done. It's the 3rd most popular answer. 13 of 100 humans said a restaurant. Hospital is what we had that one already. Nessa says a meeting. A meeting. A meeting 9 times out of 10 is going to happen where, Natch? It's going to happen at work, right? Yeah. So let's say work. Is it there? Yes, it is. Well done. Well done, Nessa. A meeting at work. I get you. Stop answering your phone at work. Dude, I have one colleague that spends so much time on a mobile phone. It's like, I feel bad for interrupting her sometimes. Anyway, let's continue. Okay, meeting at dinner, says Pedro. I think that's probably like a restaurant thing. So yes, it was there. Well done. Vero says a museum. That belongs in a museum. Are you going to go see the new Indiana Jones, Snatch?
I don't think so.
Nah, me neither. Sad because I love Indiana Jones. Ah, you're not a fan. You're not a Harrison Ford fan. Yeah, of course. I remember. Just if you were out there in love with Natch, understand that he doesn't like Harrison Ford. Okay, so, but where were we at? Dinner, museum. Museum, not there. It's not there. So, Nessa says church. Church, mosque, synagogue. Let's say a place of worship. Is a place of worship there? Yes, it is. Well done. Nessa's on fire today. On fire. Yeah, church is there. Min says funeral. So, you know, that can fall under the church category too. Well done. It's there. It's the second most popular answer. Well done. 26 of 100 humans said that one. Okay. Library, says Eric. A library. Is it there? Library. How do you say library in Spanish, Natch?
Biblioteca.
Biblioteca. And how do you say bookshop? Libreria. False friend, guys. False friend. Okay, let's continue. Library. Is it there? Yes, it is. Well done. All right. You've got 2 more to get only. Wow, well done. Jeez, guys, you're killing it. Let's see. During a conversation, says Pedro. A concert, says Nessa. Neither of those two are there. Let me give you some clues. You know, it's hard to give clues for these two without just giving it away completely. You know, you're trying to concentrate. You know, you've had a big lunch. You need to take a break from work, go to a specific place. You know, and I don't know. As you and I, Natch, as men, we're used to not talking in this place. We're used to just doing what we have to do and leaving immediately. You know, not even eye contact. Where am I talking about?
The bathroom?
In the bathroom, exactly. Oh, okay. Ironically, okay, number 4. Hard to give a clue for, but we're going to try. Number 4. Ironically, I think it's much worse to answer a phone. I answered Lou first, said Eric. Oh, sorry, Eric, I missed that one. Congratulations to you. My mom called my attention as she takes my phone into the loo. I got you. Sorry, Eric. Well done. Bathroom, said Pedro as well. During a siesta, says Nessa. It's a great answer, but it's not there. Okay. I think it's a much bigger deal. Like, it's much more embarrassing to answer your phone in public transport. But I imagine there would be certain legal issues if you answered your car. Oh, God, I just said it. My God. It's car. Whatever. It's car. Pedro said while having sex. Great answer. Talk about spoiling the mood. Is Movistar trying to sell you a new payment plan? Sorry, sweetheart. I have to get it. It's important. It's orange. They want to offer me a new mobile phone. All right. Let's go through the list. In position number 7. When I asked people a place you don't want people to answer their mobile phones, in 7 they said a bathroom. In position number 6. At work. In position number 5. In a library. In position number 4. Car. Min said that one. I already said car. Oh, no. Where? Oh, in the car you did. My bad, Min. My bad. In position number 3. In position number 3 was restaurant. In position number 2. A place of worship. And finally, in position number 1. In a movie theatre. Driving in a car. Sorry, Min. Sorry, Eric. You know, I'll be the first to hold my hand up here and say, you know, Rob isn't perfect. I'm not a perfect being. There is only one perfect being, and that's Nacho. Let's go to complete the news.
Complete the news!
Sorry, guys. There's a lot of chat and there's a lot to concentrate on. Occasionally I do miss, so my bad. Car should be number 1. It's clearly the only truly dangerous one. True story, yeah, it is. It is. Although if you answer your phone while having sex, quite dangerous too. Tend to find things being thrown at you. Let's see. Who answers the phone while having sex, Pedro? Yeah, who would do that? Creak, 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 creak. Okay, anyway. Here we go. Complete the news. I'm going to give you a titular, a news headline, and I'm going to give you 3 options. Using those 3 options, I would ask you to complete the news. Where do we go? Okay, let's go to VPN. VPN. You know what? I've just realized I don't know what VPN stands for. Do you know what a VPN is, Natch?
No.
Oh, it's virtual private network. I knew that. So a VPN is, you can use a VPN to pretend you're in another country, okay, to watch Netflix from England, for example. Also, VPNs are used to protect, really, your privacy, okay? So you can pretend to be from another place, or you can protect your privacy, so internet service providers don't know what you're looking at, because they tend to then sell that information to bigger companies. Okay, so VPN searches spike. Okay, there's a huge spike in VPN searches as blank in Virginia. So something happens in Virginia that makes people search for VPN services. But what is it? Is it A, the NSA surveillance is heightened? So the American government is spying on people in Virginia. Is it B, pornography websites block access in Virginia? Or is it C, an internet service provider leaks users' browsing history? Ooh, that's a lot. So is it A, VPN searches spike as A, NSA surveillance is heightened, so there is more surveillance from the American government? Is it B, pornography websites block access? Or C, an internet service provider leaks users' browsing history? What do you think, Natch?
C?
You think C, internet service providers leak their users' browsing history? I'm going to tell you, as always on the show, pornography wins. Everyone in chat, with the exception of Nessa and yourself, golden, innocent people, have said B. Let's get a drum roll, Natch. Of course it is B. Yeah. VPN searches in Virginia surged ahead of a new law restricting internet users under the age of 18 from accessing pornography websites. You can see the link for that news story and all the news stories we've used today in my Patreon, guys. Please do check that out for me in patreon.com/professional bohemian. Guys, what an amazing show. Thank you so much for being here on this beautiful summer's day. A lot of things you could have been doing this morning, an infinite number of things, but instead of doing those things, you took the time to spend some time with Natch and I, and it means the absolute world. See you next time.